local news. Welcome to House of the Princess 50/50 News. I am your host, Princess AV. I thank y'all for coming. I was a little discombobulated for a second because I couldn't see who was in here. Let me see. And in fact, let me get myself up on my screen here so that I can see all of y'all. Happy Friday. I hope that you're watching from home. I see some of y'all just said y'all trying to keep safe from the snow. But if you got your coffee, put a little extra shot of Bailey's Irish cream in there. Or, if you got some clear water, some vodka, whatever you got to do to get through your work day, or get you an extra glass of water here so we can have some good time with the news. I just want to peep and see who's in here today. My day ones and my regulars. Shout outs, to my mods that's in here. Wait, I done tore my sheet of paper. Lord, looking for something else. Okay, here, I'm gonna get together in about 2 seconds. There we go. Hey, why are you bothered? Yes, y'all listen to me in the news. Evangelist Val is in the building. My mother, Black Diamond. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all are in the building. Sean, everybody. All right. I saw y'all having some good conversations. So I wanted to be nosy, okay? See what y'all are talking about. Hey, Kamiko, AP, AP. I'm gonna call you AP Del. Look, that's the restaurant on the corner. But AP Leo Queen. It's 24 degrees in Dallas. That's just as cold as it is in Chicago. But they said it's going to be like 2 degrees tonight. And maybe the wind chill will be below zero tomorrow. So should I have put that on? Made it too shiny for the camera. I don't know, but that's what that Young Bella lip gloss does, honey. We'll get it down. Mr. Reed, I ain't seen you in a while. Hey, CC. Yes, TGIF. Thank y'all so much for the compliment. I'm trying to get myself together, Drea. Everybody's a support team. Everybody's here. Okay, we got a good amount of people. Now, as y'all are in here, I hope that you have sat down and had some manners and pressed the like button. Okay. I see YouTube has been tweaking today because it did it in another chat. Right now, I only see one person watching, but it was 20 something a minute ago. We ain't worried about it. If you in here, you in here. If it's up, then it's stuck. Okay. Press the like button. And if you're watching on the replay or you're in the chat and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please make sure that you're still subscribed if you were previously subscribed. And in addition, I'm going to request that you also press that join button because that is what keeps the channel going. That is a different type of support where we get your monthly support and I can continue to do fabulous things with your membership as far as upgrades, and there is benefits to your membership. We also are welcome here for super chats, Venmo, PayPals, and all of that. And then I'll put my Cash App. Well, my Cash App is there anyway, right here in the corner, but I'll put my information up later. Like number 16. Yes, yes, yes. What color am I wearing? I don't know. I know it's a purple, but they have weird names. But it is the purple by Kat Von D. And probably while we were watching a video, I can go get the exact color. And the lip gloss I just put on is the brand new Indigo by Royalty Beauty Brands Yumbella flavored. So without further ado, okay, and like always, I did something ratchet, okay, and I forgot to share my lovely screen so that you can see all of the wonderful news stories that I have put together for you today. And yeah, I have some extra stories, but then I took away some stories all at the same time. So we do have a packed news schedule today. So I don't want to do a lot of stalling because some of this stuff is going to be funny, and then some of it is, I don't want to say triggering, but it sure do piss you off, okay? And that's for sure. So we're gonna get down to it. Yes, 50% righteous, 50% ratchet. Yes, all day, every day. Okay, so let me take my little tag off of here. So what we're going to do, our first story. And yes, I do have a stank face. Our first story is about a convicted murderer. Former cop Jason Van Dyke has an early release from prison. I believe he was given 8 years, but he has served just a little bit over 3 years, and he is released. This story here, we'll get details from ABC News 7. All right, let's see what we're doing here. Oh, gotta add it to the stream. So let's hear from them first.
Jason Van Dyke tonight has been a free man for almost 24 hours. He was released from the downstate Taylorville Correctional Center shortly after the clock struck midnight. This minimum security facility was Van Dyke's stepping out point. He was flown back to Illinois last Friday from an undisclosed prison, according to law enforcement sources, but was locked up in several facilities, both in and out of Illinois, since being sentenced to nearly 7 years back in 2019. Tonight, Van Dyke is out of prison after serving more than 3 years, what amounts to almost 50% of his sentence, which in Illinois is normal for any felon who behaves while behind bars.
It's really up to the Department of Corrections in Illinois to make decisions about how long a sentence a defendant serves. And their rule is good conduct is about half.
Van Dyke's original sentence and the half sentence he served both have riled members of the victim's family. 17-year-old Laquan McDonald had a knife when he walked away from police in 2014. During this incident, the Chicago teenager was shot dead by then Officer Van Dyke, who fired 16 times. Federal authorities are being pressed now to charge Van Dyke with having violated Laquan McDonald's civil rights. Former federal prosecutor and ABC 7 legal analyst Gil Sofer tonight says one federal investigation produced no charges, and now 7 years have passed. But he says there's a new administration in charge of the Justice Department.
Do things change depending on who the Attorney General is in this type of a matter?
I mean, things can change, and decisions can change, and the department may, if it changes policies at some high level, it may decide that this is something that requires reconsideration and prosecution. It can happen, but it's after this much time has passed, it simply is unlikely, and particularly on a set of charges that are not always easy to bring.
Van Dyke will spend the next 3 years on parole. In Illinois, it's called supervised release. But by whatever name, he will have to jump through hoops. He can't leave the state without court permission and has to report in regularly to an Illinois parole officer.
People here don't give a fuck about that. The problem is that he murdered that young boy, and in the first place, it was felt that 8 years was not enough. It was a slap on the wrist, and he really didn't even want to serve that. People are protesting right now because they feel that this is an insult to the family, and especially to let him out early. Even Jesse Jackson and the crew has gotten in on this. They're out protesting as of last night about this. 2 weeks ago, they were trying to boycott the CTA because of this. People here are not happy. I am wary that we may have some civil unrest behind it, but things happen. You know, this is the people speaking out, and they do what they have to do to get their voices heard. But guess what? You know, you got to have the was it the pigmentation, the persuasion for the occasion. So it is what it is, you know. So they Caucasian persuasion. We're very racist city, so it makes things happen. So we'll see how this happens, how this moves forward. The second story is trigger warning. It's very upsetting. Unfortunately, a young man and his grandmother were killed in a shooting. This is the second week in a row. Last week, I had a story for somebody that is my acquaintance, was a husband of someone I went to high school with. He was gunned down on the street last week. Well, the Sunday before last, but I would have reported it last week. And this week, another person has been gunned down. I met him once, but he is adjacent to someone I know as well. And so this story, get it up here. This story is brought to you, I believe, by Fox 32. And here we go.
This right here is devastating because they just don't know what they took from me.
Hers is a family left devastated by violence after she says a gunman opened fire on her grandmother, her step-grandfather, and her uncle during what the family says was a botched robbery attempt. While 55-year-old Vincent Johnson survived the attack, his 67-year-old wife, Gloria Bender, and her son, 42-year-old Erskine Bender, did not.
Y'all took not one, but two people from us. At one time,
The family says the attack happened shortly after 6 this morning as the trio headed out, as they do every first of the month, to pay bills. Johnson was at the wheel. Relatives say the trouble began after the victim stopped in an apartment building in the 900 block of East 79th Street so Erskine Bender could check on a family member.
And the guy came behind my brother, shoot my brother, shot my brother in the head, and shot the car up. He shot the car, but shot my mother in the face.
Despite a barrage of gunfire, the three managed to make it to safety a few blocks away, with their bullet-riddled vehicle coming to rest in front of a neighborhood daycare. Meanwhile, as police rushed to the scene, witnesses say the gunman ran back into the building, triggering an active shooter response by CPD's SWAT unit. The police presence closed 79th Street for nearly 6 hours.
It's crazy that you can't even drive down the street without shooting, carjacking, stuff going on.
And while police have not shared any details or a motive for the crime, only saying that they are still investigating, our family prays that the person responsible will turn themselves in.
they took my best friend, my grandmother, from me. And I pray that whoever did it, we get justice.
Reporting from Chicago's East Chatham neighborhood, Evelyn Holmes, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
My prior job was down the street from there. That is a very popular area, very popular street, businesses right there. That's disgusting. To do that to that lady. And after watching this, I know more people that are in that video. I don't know them closely, but I'm familiar with all of those people. I just can't imagine, and now they have to funeralize multiple people in their family that is not hurting anyone. They were doing nothing. What I read in the article is that, as everyone does in the first of the month, they were going to go pay their bills. He was doing a good deed to go help his mother, do their first of the month duties, go get their money orders, go, cash their checks, pay their bills, maybe go get a few groceries and come back home. But to think soon as you step out your door that somebody has such hatred for you and that would do something like that to you and even to your family who has absolutely nothing to do with what, it's disgusting. I hope that the killer or killers are brought to justice. My condolences do go out to the family. And it's unfortunate. So on to the next story. I probably need to pay attention. For people who have drawn unemployment, as we know, during the pandemic, having unemployment and getting payments and getting in touch with an operator, it was horrifying. It was very tedious. The Illinois Department of Employment Services has always felt falling short in this area. Hell, they probably just now catching up to calls and people getting their payments now. So now there is an issue with people getting their 1099s whether it be in the mail or electronically. So that is this next story that we have here, brought to you by CBS News 2 Chicago.
It's tax season, but thousands desperate to get the paperwork they need are finding website glitches, long waits, and still no tax forms.
And they're getting no help from the state, so they reached out to us. CBS News Tara Molina, always investigating, took their concerns straight to IDES. Tara.
Brett and Erica, people are stuck without this 1099-G form, and many of them are reaching out to us. They're detailing issues with the state's website, calling them glitches, and claiming they're to blame. The messages have flooded the CBS 2 tip line. Illinois unemployment is locking people out of getting their 1099 tax information. This happened last year, and now once again, their system is failing residents of the state. I am extremely angry that Illinois has not fixed this problem. Please help. So what's the deal? We got this notice from the Illinois Department of Employment Security this week about the availability and accessibility of 1099-G tax forms via mail or electronically. Brandy Thatch told us she wishes it was that easy.
It's really kind of a nightmare.
Back at work now, but out of work for part of the year due to the pandemic, her issues focus on iLogin, the security measure implemented by the state to keep fraudsters out. But it's keeping people like Brandy out too.
I actually was panicking myself when I realized I couldn't get into my accounts once again. You try over and over and over and over again.
Patricia Covestall told us the same thing.
It just doesn't work.
A retired CPS principal, Patricia helps those who struggle with technology or no internet access.
Well, they can't get that basic paper, the 1099-G, which they need.
With more and more people calling the state for help through a public records request, we know 4,681 phone numbers were in the state system waiting for 1099-G help on January 24th, up to 9,076 by the 28th. I brought all of this directly to IDES. A state spokesperson didn't directly address the reported iLogin glitches we asked about, but said trained IDES agents will help claimants navigate iLogin identity verification questions, download 1099-G forms online, or send copies of 1099-G forms via USPS. Their response?
If they could, get the website to run a little bit more smoothly, I think it would cause a lot less of the issues that they have.
Now, right now, the state IDES won't say if it's looking into the issues that we brought to them through this story, the issues that you brought to us, but we did include more information from the state and resources they sent our way on this. It's all in this story on our website right now. For CBS 2, working for...
Everything is easier. They got all the money to do all the wrong shit, but they never take the time to do what they need to do to help the people or do the right things. And for those who are coming in a little late, it's okay. It's better late than never. It's still early right now. We are doing local news. And for those that are watching for the first time, I forgot to put that up, so I did that just now. We're doing local news to Chicagoland in Metro Indiana. So that is what we lead with, because that's where I'm from. Okay. And my name is Princess AV. You're watching 50/50 News, 100% news with just a twist of ratchet. So I see Cuz is in the building. Hey, Cuz, and thank you. And hey, Yvette, everybody that's coming in, share the video. Okay. Like the video. Let people know to come on in and support a Black sister. Okay. Our next story is, and see, we had a lot of short ones today, so I did some longer ones. This one I found a little interesting. It's more sports oriented. The coach of the owner of the Chicago Blackhawks, he decided to spaz out on some reporters based on some questions to some answers that some questions that he didn't like. And also, one quick moment, Janet, I believe, asked me what color that I'm wearing. I am wearing Echo by Kat Von D. As much as I push her stuff, I need some type of sponsorship and endorsement, and I think I might ask for it. Okay, and I just made it glossy. It's very matte. I made it glossy by just using a pinch of indigo by not House of the Princess, that's me. By Royalty Beauty Brands. It's my Young Bella lip gloss. Go get you some. Go get you some. Okay. All right. So again, let's play this next story. You might get a kiki out of this, but let's see.
Owner facing a backlash for berating reporters at a town hall event last night.
Matt Son joins us with what the fallout could be after Rocky Works' outburst and also what set him off on this one.
Yeah, first off, the Blackhawks may be facing 3 new lawsuits and more fallout from the sexual assault allegations against former video coach Brad Aldrich. This news comes on the heels of Chairman Rocky Wirtz's just stunning outburst at that town hall. Now, if you missed it, he took extreme issue with 2 reporters simply asking about what the Hawks are doing to change going forward.
I think much of what happened to Kyle Beach stemmed from a power imbalance between a coach and a player and the powerlessness of a player in that situation. So what are the Blackhawks doing? What have the Blackhawks done? What will the Blackhawks do to empower a player in a similar situation to make sure that doesn't happen again?
I'm going to answer the question again. I think the report speaks for itself. The people that were involved are no longer here, and we're not going to talk about what happened. We're moving forward. That is my answer. Now, what's your next question?
I can pick up to what we are doing today.
No, I don't know. That's none of your business. That's none of your business. What we're going to do today is our business. I don't think it's any of your business. Because I don't think it's any of your business. You don't work for the company. If someone in the company asks that question, we'll answer it.
I'm sorry. I'm a little mystified here because during the General Block briefing, you guys talked about a change in culture and transparency and demonstrating the new culture and values that are going to protect players and protect the organization in the future. And it seems like the second that we ask a question about that, it's met with resistance. So I'm going to ask it again.
Answered it. No, I answered it, and I told you to get off the subject. We're not going to bring up the report.
No,
you read it.
We're not asking about the report. We're
asking about what the report was talking about, and I told you we're moving on. Now, I don't like these. I think you're out of line to ask this line of questions. Why don't you ask about something else? Why don't you ask about the GM?
Okay, I will
Why don't you do something else?
Okay,
why don't you bring up old business?
Again, this was a town hall event put on by the Hawks with media and fans invited, and new CEO Danny Wirtz and President of Business Operations Jamie Faulkner were outlining how the organization is moving forward. And it was supposed to be all about transparency. As you can see, Danny Wirtz even tried to chime in, but Rocky would not allow it. Now, Rocky Wirtz did issue an apology after the event, but many are now calling on him to step down. To Marie, it really is just amazing that Rocky was seemingly caught off guard by these questions that were obviously going to come up at an event like this.
Yeah, he got so defensive, and reporters have a right to ask those questions. They should ask those questions, and it's interesting to see Rocky Wirtz generated such goodwill and good feelings during the Blackhawks Stanley Cup runs.
Yeah, but all seemingly gone, especially after that.
All right.
Ooh, that is a good question, Kamiko. And you can see that privilege just shining through, honey. Just shining through. I questioned that. That was interesting, but he was just so nasty, so rude. But they said he was rude to everybody, white and black, okay? And so he was putting, his ass in the fire. He's probably a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't have to be that way. I guess after folks tore him a new asshole, then he decided to apologize. But you already fucked up, sir. What they're asking, for those who do not know, there are a lot of allegations going on about the Blackhawks, and they are saying some of the players were not only intimidated, but they were assaulted and misused. I'm trying to use the verbiage during their tenure there as players. And we're not just talking about women, we talk about the players, the men, and different things happen in the back of the locker room, okay? And they were told and people ignored. So recently, in the past few months, some folks got fired, okay? And some folks got their asses handed to them, and there's lots of things to come, criminal charges that are to come. So I guess he was a little nervous, okay? because he know that it's some smoke in the city, and so y'all should be counting your days, okay? So that's where some of that heat in his chest came from, because he didn't want to fuck up. But y'all already done fucked up the thing, so y'all go ahead with that, okay? So we'll see how that happens. So our next story comes piggybacking off the story that we did Wednesday. Yeah, he's an old cool. Exactly. You knew they was gonna ask your ass that shit. You know, come on. My next story is a follow up to the story that we had Wednesday. What well, I'm calling it, she's a young lady, where a woman was killed in the midst of crossfire. So I have a story that follows up to that, a little bit of detail and what has transpired since then. Okay, let's pull it on up here.
New at 5, new details about a shootout that left a Chicago grandmother dead.
We've learned
a
a security guard whose sources say fired the shot that killed Bobby Johnson barely had any training. CBS 2's Jackie Kostek is live outside Chicago Police Headquarters. Jackie, you talked to that security guard's boss.
Yeah, Erica, I did, and the owner of that company tells me the security guard involved in that shooting had just been hired and had only worked about 10 shifts. I spoke to the owner of Bounty Task Force, who confirmed that his employee was the security guard working outside of Woods Food and Liquor on 35th in Indiana. He was on duty when a man opened fire, and a shot fired by Brown struck 55-year-old Bobby Johnson in the chest, killing her. A police source says the incident started with an argument between Brown and a man outside of that liquor store on Monday. Police say that man returned on Tuesday. He and Brown got into another argument, and the man shot Brown once in the leg. As the man ran away east on 35th Street, the police report says Brown shot in his direction.
He was just laying on the ground and just shooting down the block.
A witness spoke to CBS 2 Tuesday, describing Brown's shooting as reckless.
He could have shot anybody who came out of either one of your stores down there, had him shooting his gun. He could have hit anybody.
The 34-year-old Brown has an extensive criminal history dating back to 2005, involving armed robbery and domestic battery. The owner of the security company said he did do a background check, but did not know that Brown had a record. The owner said Brown came in with standard 20 and 40-hour security training certificates. Yeah, the owner of that company says that he doesn't know if Brown is still in the hospital right now. We do know that police are still searching for the man who fired that first shot. And just to give you a little perspective of where we are right now, we're standing right outside of CBD headquarters on 35th in Michigan. And you can actually see that liquor store just about a block away on the north side of Indiana. Brad and Erica, back to you.
So this lady done lost her life for some fucktards, okay? As I told you on Wednesday, that it was obvious that that shooting was a personal thing, especially for him to just be shooting arbitrarily like that, and you don't even have no aim, sir. You know, you're the worst. I'm not gonna promote criminal activity, but at least if you're going to do something, please be good at what you do. I was taught in school and by my parents, whatever you do, be the best at it, okay? But you obviously are an ancient person. I'm curious as to how he was able to circumvent the system, that his criminal history did not come up in order to be a security guard. Just for me to get my FOIA card, just for me to work at Chicago Public Schools, just for me to do anything, there is a federal background check that they do on you. Shit, to do Uber recently, I had to wait a month to get a background check. So what the fuck happened with him? And then he had a gun, and you've committed a felony, battery, armed robbery. So he shouldn't have even had a goddamn gun in the first place. All things wrong in this situation. Yeah, Sean, I agree. It's probably some old. They was like, oh, come on, fam. You know, his face looked like he is a shitty person. Like he gone here, take the picture. Like, you know, you've been in and out of jail. That's what he looked like. You know, that's his home. But I salute the young man for trying to do something positive with his life, and it was probably one of the only few jobs that he can get. But look what happened. He said this woman is a gospel singer, a grandmother, somebody trying to live their life right, and just it's more than one person at fault at this point because the system is fucked up. And he gets to be out. Well, he's got to do some time because he had a damn gun and he shot somebody. That's homicide. It's manslaughter. But he wasn't supposed to have that gun at all. So some other people need to be held accountable for that. Whom I can't say. Because if the security companies say they did their due diligence, who am I to say that they didn't? But there's something wrong. There's something not right in the milk. I hope they find that other fucker, okay? I'm sure they should have had them on tape. You're right there across the street from the police station. Come on. Come on. Gone. Let's ride. I haven't even let anybody ride in the car. I haven't picked up anybody yet. All right. So then our last story is some of y'all been asking for the plug. Well, guess what? If y'all was out here waiting on the plug, your plug got taken. Okay. Our next story is about fake stuff seized at O'Hare. CBS 2 News gives the report.
Cartier, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Versace, they are iconic fashion houses whose luxury goods remain in high demand. But here you are looking at counterfeit purses, belts, and scarves, and more discovered by Customs and Border Patrol on Monday. They seized this shipment as it arrived at O'Hare from Israel, filled with $713,000 worth of fakes. Chicago CBD says in January it averaged at least one shipment a day of counterfeit goods totaling $2.88 million. While most of those shipments arriving here were headed for other U.S. cities, some had final destinations at Chicago, Joliet, and Lake in the Hills.
President Biden addressed the nation.
Now, buddy. I kind of like that Louis Vuitton scarf. I wonder, did they have some Louis Vuitton shower curtains? Because you're sorry, you ain't finna get your Jordans. You're not finna get your purses. The plug has been unplugged for right now. You're going to have to wait till they open some more of them supply boxes just sitting on the side. She said, I am not ashamed. Give me the fake, okay? Somebody mad than a mofo, okay? That's a lot. 750 grand. So if it was 750 grand in the box, so that might have been, you know, 1.5 million to 2 million, you know, in the pocket, okay? So we have stores that sell fake purses wholesale. So some of them stores, they about to be dry. Ooh, Charlie, do you put insurance on if you buy fake goods to resell? I don't know. I will buy the real and I do buy the fake. I'm not ashamed. Now, if y'all saw me with my MCM bag and the way I dog my little Calvin Klein bag, those are real. I prefer sometimes to buy the fake because I dog them. I'm just throw it on the floor, you know. The partner formerly known as the young man. The fuck? You just throw the purse on the floor and you know how much that was? Well, it's things, you know. I understand you're supposed to treat them better, but sometimes I just be like, it's just things. I'm just as happy with my Target purse as I am with my designer purses. It's all the same. Put the shit in it. Oh, you got flaming hots at the bottom of the fucking purse and cookie crumbs. What the hell? You know, so yeah. Yes. All right. So with that being said, guess what? We 30 minutes in and we are done with local news. All right.